Hi, everyone. This is the Ego Project, and we are here with another mini. And we are going to talk a little bit about codependency and healthy boundaries. And a listener had a question of they've been in a romantic relationship for quite a few years, and when they first entered the relationship, they had a strong group of friends that they enjoyed spending time with. Their partner did not like the friends, felt very threatened, and a few years down the road, they looked up and they have no friends left. The only thing left is the romantic partner. So I'm going to let you talk about a little bit of boundary setting with that and codependency, so people have a better insight of how that imbalance can happen.
Absolutely. And I think this happens a lot more than people realize in that, they have this life, that felt very full and happy and healthy. And then they get into a romantic relationship. And if they have those codependent tendencies and they typically find somebody who's very familiar to that egotistic taking partner, they can wake up, several months down the relationship and be like, wait a minute, where did all of the people that felt so full and amazing before my life? And it is something that chips away, so for somebody who has codependent tendencies entering into a relationship, it's really important to have healthy boundaries. We oftentimes will enter a relationship and have really no idea what our boundaries are sometimes. Or we have if we have codependent, tendencies, very poor boundaries where we may say, oh, this is my boundary, but then as the other partner starts pushing against them, we're like, okay, So, if you've been in a relationship and it's several months down the line and you look up and that social circle is gone or exceptionally small, and that's something that feels kind of uncomfortable and just somewhat disrespectful to you, that's, you're probably navigating in a very codependent relationship where you've let your partner change what you think, feel, and do in order to get the responses you desire from them. And so that should be your red flag that, oh, I haven't had very strong boundaries in this relationship, especially in my own independent life. I'm allowing the relationship to dictate who I am as an independent.
Oh, that's so good. So what is the first step that someone can take if they find themselves in that scenario or one similar, anytime that they find themselves, in finding themselves being more codependent? What is the next step that they can take, the very first step?
Well, in that situation with a group of friends that perhaps has left because of the actions or inactions that you've been, having, is one, sitting with yourself and being like, what is it that I can do for myself in this situation? And it might be like, I can go reach out to this friend because I know that they're a very important relationship to me. And I need them in my life because I appreciate that friendship. So the first step is honoring yourself. You don't have to go to your partner and say, hey, I'd really like to go do this. What do you think? It's checking in and being like, no, this felt very disrespectful or very uncomfortable for me to push this friend away. So I can go and reach out to this friend. Then the boundary setting piece would be coming back to the relationship. If you're still in the relationship and you want to work on the relationship and saying, hey, I recognize that I've allowed you to influence a lot of my friendships. My friendships that are important to me are going to be a part of my life, and they can be a part of my individual life and part of our relationship in our relationship life, if that's something that's healthy and good. But I am going to continue to have these friendships in my life. And that's how I'm going to move forward with them. And you don't have to give an explanation as to why. You don't have to blame the other person. You don't have to try to convince them to be okay with it. The boundary is just that I'm moving forward with reconnecting with these friendships.
So it's really about the communication aspect as well with the partner of not asking permission, because I'm an adult and I don't need to ask permission from anyone to do something, as long as it's respecting the relationship.
Right. And there doesn't even really need to be a conversation as to whether or not they're okay with it. The boundary is really kind of with yourself. I'm no longer available to allow a romantic relationship to dictate who I can and cannot be friends with, if those friendships I know are to be with healthy people.
Okay. Oh, thank you so much. Right. Once again, this is a mini. We're going to have many more of these minis. Yeah. Okay. So go ahead and like the video if it resonated, and share it with your friends if you think they would benefit from it, and your partners, of course. And we will be sharing more videos as we move forward. Anything else to add, Cristine?
Nope. Just, send in those questions. We love hearing them.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
See you next time.
Bye.